All right, well, what's up, you guys? This is Adanna. So I got a question asking if the overtime potential as a PA is similar to that as an RN. And obviously, I'm not an RN, so I don't know all of the ins and outs of their overtime potential. But I did read an article like very recently on a travel nurse and what he made within a year. So I can talk about that with respect to the overtime potential that PAs are currently getting, and then also in respect to locums jobs as a PA, which is essentially kind of our version of being a travel PA. So let's get into the video right now. What's up, you guys? It's Adanna. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about some money. Like, I know that you guys are always like asking questions about like how much a PA makes and the various different specialties, and really and truly, like, what is the potential? Like, how much can you possibly make? You know, obviously there is an average that PAs make across the board, but what is the potential that you can get to? And so that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, with a little bit of like some adjustments, specifically talking about overtime. Now, the question was asked, as I stated before, what is, like, do I think the overtime potential as a PA is similar to that of a nurse? Now, obviously, there are lots of different things that goes into this, because, you know, you don't know, like, if there's shift differentials, if there is, like, nighttime differentials, where, like, at what point do they get overtime? Like, so for me, you know, after my third shift of 24, so 72 hours-ish, I get overtime. Bonus pay is what we're calling it now, because I'm salaried now. However, you know, for when we weren't salary, we were getting double pay. So like, and I'll kind of talk to you guys about all of that as well. So let's get into it and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So I wanted to talk to you about this one particular article that I read about this nurse who made essentially, I think it was like $187,000 just like last year alone, simply from working various different travel positions. Now, there are PAs that kind of make that on like just their general base salary. They make about 180. Some even make a little bit more than that, like in the upwards 200s of thousands of dollars, depending on the specialty that they're in, and obviously if they're getting paid overtime and things like that. But, you know, you have to kind of look at all of the ins and outs. So like, how many hours are they working a week? Is it like 80 hours or is it 40 hours? That kind of stuff all puts into consideration, should all be taken into consideration, essentially. But this particular nurse, he took a position in Texas where it was offering $6,700 for a 48-hour work week. All right, so $6,700 for a 48-hour work week. Now, when it comes down to it, I would say he was getting paid about like $140 an hour. So I've seen some locum tenens jobs where it's like $150 an hour for a PA. I've seen like the majority of the ones that I've seen are about $120 an hour for a PA. So I don't know if his $150, $150 an hour is the standard, is kind of typically what people are being offered out there as nurses. Maybe his was just like too good to be true, and it was like just amazingly a good opportunity for him. That's kind of what he said, but at the end of the day, that is a lot of money. Okay, so let's just talk about that really quickly. That's a lot of money. $6,700 just in a 48-hour work week alone. You know, what is that with respect to how much you're pulling in a month? So 48 times 4, right, times, let's do, wait, hold on, 6,700 times 4, let's do that. You're getting $26,000, $26,800 a month. So that's a lot of money. And like I said, there are travel nurses that I've seen, travel PAs or locum tenens PAs, where they're working these 13-week assignments that could become more if, you know, the particular facility or office or hospital requires it. they're getting about 120, and I've seen some that have said 150. How many hours they're working, that I do not know, because it doesn't necessarily always say, but it would say like a 12. Sometimes it says 10-hour shifts, sometimes it says 12. So I'm guessing it's still like a 40-hour work week. And then again, you have to put into consideration, are there like overtime bonuses or pays with that? And when you're looking at these contracts and you're reading into that, all that should be taken into consideration, okay? So the average that I've typically seen is $120. And if you're working 40 hours a week and you're doing about 4 weeks a month, you're getting paid like $19,200 as a typical locums PA. So let's just say like on average you're getting paid $20,000 versus, what was it, like the $26,000 that I said with that particular nursing position. Now, obviously, when you're looking at overtime and shift differentials and things like that, because so you get paid differently for like nighttime weekdays versus nighttime weekends versus daytime weekends. Like there are various different options. Like sometimes you may get paid like $4 or $5 extra at night, and then when you work on the weekend you get paid like $7 extra during the day and $10 extra at night. So those are some things that boost your pay as both nursing and PAs, and it's very, very like nuancy. So I can't really speak too much on like what the numbers will look like, but just on the surface, like I can say like if you were making like $70 as a PA, right? When we were still doing hourly, we were getting paid like double time or time and a half, right? So if we were working on average, let's just say we were working 80 hours a week times like, but we would only get paid double time on like the following, like the fourth shift, right? So if we're obligated to work 100, we're obligated to work like 72 hours in the pay period, but let's say we work like 120 hours, then you would only get paid for the difference of the 120 and the 72. So essentially, like if you work 2 extra shifts and you got 48 hours, you get paid double pay for that. So time is like 48 times, let's say it's 140. So you're getting paid $6,700 essentially just for 48 hours. And that's essentially the same thing that person got, right? So that nurse was able to get $6,700 for a 48-hour work week. It's the same thing here. You're getting $6,700 for 48 hours of extra shift on top of your regular pay of if you were doing like 70 hours, $70 an hour times 72. So that's $5,000 that you got for your regular pay plus the $6,700. So for that particular pay shift, you would have just gotten like 11 pay period. You would have gotten $11,700. So you really you kind of have to look at it. How are the numbers adding up? Is the potential there? Essentially, like I'm going through all of this to say like, yes, potentially we can make as much as RNs with our overtime. However, there's not as many, I would say, locum tenens jobs offering like $150, $140 an hour. I think the average is probably more so that of your primary care physician. If you're getting paid like $120 an hour or so, that's usually where they would likely start you off as a PA in the $120 range, which is what I've typically seen. Now, like with us, like I said, we're now getting paid salary, and so at salary we work like we get paid for 80 hours, but on our fourth shift we get paid bonus pay. The bonus pay is just kind of like a standard rate across the board, and so like again, like let's say the bonus pay is like $120 if we're working 24 hours, and this is when we like start to get into the nitty gritty of the hourly rate. So like let's say I work 26 hours at 120, then I'll get paid $3,000 just for that one shift of work, okay? And so obviously, if you want to work extra and you want to work like 2 extra shifts, then you're getting, again, like $6,400, $6,500-ish for 2 extra shifts. So you're working 5 24s in a 14-day period, and you're getting paid, well, you're getting paid more than the 6,000 because you're getting paid whatever your base rate is plus 6,000. So when you're looking at it, it's like you're almost getting paid 3 paychecks in one. So the potential is there. You really just have to look at what the base salary is, or what the hourly salary is, what the overtime is, when you get paid for overtime. Like, is it after 80 hours? Is it after your obligated shifts? All of those need to go into place. But on average, I would say like the potential is there, okay? So hopefully this answers your question. I would say that if you do work overtime and you're getting paid like anywhere from like $60+ an hour, like you have the potential to make, you know, over $200,000 a year, especially if you're willing to just kind of grind and put in the work. So it's there. If you have any other questions for me on salary or anything related to the PA profession, let me know. Guys, I'm also like interested in hearing like what paths you want to go into, because, you know, PA is not the only thing. And so obviously if you're interested in other professions, like let me know about that as well. And maybe I can do a compare and contrast for that of those with respect to the PA profession and other professions as well. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. You already know what to do. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at AdannaThePA, and on Instagram at Get That's University, where we help you not only get into but through PA school. And then just in general, if you need like personal statement reviews or consultation sessions on like just kind of guidance on what path you should take, or if you should get into medicine or anything like that, we do that too. So hit us up at getthat'suniversity.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys next time.